Hi friends, welcome to my Learning Points YouTube channel. Today we will discuss on PHP variable and PHP data types. In our last video, we discussed about how to create PHP file, how to print something with the use of PHP and basic PHP file and code structure. If you missed that video, please go through once so it will be more helpful to understand. So today we will discuss how to declare PHP variable, how to assign a value on that variable, general naming conversation of variable, and scope of variable with example. So I will show you each and every step. So here I am declaring three types of variable. Always keep in mind, PHP variable always start with $sign. Now here we don't need to send any data type. PHP is enough intelligent. PHP internally decides the variable type at the time of declaration. Here my variable is string or text type because in that variable we assign the value with a double inverted comma, and we can assign value in single inverted comma also. So if we assign a value with a double inverted comma or a single inverted comma, PHP internally it will treat as string or text type value. In the same way, my number is the number and my float is the float. So now we understand how to declare variable and how to assign on it. Now we need to learn some basic rules while we declaring one variable. Variable name always start with $sign. A variable cannot start with any number, and no special character will allow except the underscore. And PHP variables are case sensitive. So in the previous example, if we write my variable and print that value as echo my variable, and the same value if we write echo my variable, both are different things. For this value it will not print because the value we have initialized, this is the my variable, so it will print, and it will not print. It maybe throw a warning message. So now we got some idea about how to declare variable and its naming conversion. So now I will discuss on PHP scope. In a PHP file, anywhere we can declare variable. Depending on the declaration position, its access will be different. Means all variable cannot be accessed from all places. Based on variable access, there are three types of scope. One is local scope, two global scope, and the static scope. I will show you each scope with the example, so you will understand more clearly. So here is the example of local scope. To understand this topic, I will say very brief idea about function so that you can understand this example. So here my function is a function. So what is a function? To declare a function, we need to use the functions keyword. A function is a block of organized reusable code. We will discuss about function in our upcoming variable. So here my function is a function and it automatically cannot be called. To call this function, we need to call in somewhere else. So in my function I have declared a variable 10. So here please notice here, variable 10 is declared inside the function. That means variable 10 is the property of this function. So when we run this program, then what will happen? So in function I have written print from function, and the same thing I try to print outside of function. So outside the variable will not found because the variable is in the local from my function. So if I run this program, then what we'll see? Print from function it's 10. Print from outside is blank. Why blank? Because my variable cannot be accessible outside from my function. So now it's clear why it cannot be accessible. So let's another example for global function. So I am declaring my variable outside of the function, and I am going to print this. So if I run this program, so what will be output? Then you can see print from function is blank, print from outside is 10, because in a PHP page the variable can be accessible, but in my function this cannot be accessible because these variables are unknown to this function. This is the global scope of variable, and there is a way. We have one keyword named global. If we write global keyword before the global variable, that means my function is calling this variable from global, means from this PHP file. So now this variable is known to this function. So if I write this program, then the output will be print from function is 10, print from outside 10, means from function it can be accessible and outside the function it can be accessible. So now I am going to discuss what is static scope. In my function I have declared a variable equal to 10, and the variable is static variable because we used the static keyword before this variable. So now the variable will treat as static variable. So if we are going to echo this variable, then what will be the output? The output should be 10, and I am going to add some value. Suppose in variable I add variable equal to variable plus 2, means I have incremented this value with 2, and I am calling the functions 2 times. So what will be output? For the first is 10, and for second calling seeing the output as 12. The static variable, the main property of static variable is that this type of variable does not lose its value when the program goes past the scope boundary. Means this is the scope boundary. So for first time when we call the variable initialized as static and 10, the second time we are calling this function again, but the value will not change. So if I remove the static, then we can understand what the difference is. If I remove the static before the variable, so this will output 10 and 10, means after the execution of first time this function loses the variable. So if we declare the static, this value will not lose. So we can understand what is static variable. So in brief, so what is local scope? If we declare a variable inside the function, that variable only can be used from that function only. It is called local scope. In the same way, if we declare a function outside the function, this value can be accessed from all places except any function. That is global scope, and we can use global variable inside the function with the use of global keyword. And for static scope, to make a variable static, we need to use the static keyword. This main feature is that the variable never loses its value after the program execution also. So friends, try it your own PC. If you face any problem, please comment in this video. So if you got any help from this video, please like this video and subscribe my channel. So friends, in this video we learned about what is variable, rules to create variable, assign a value to variable, and some PHP keywords and variable scope. So friends, in next video I will discuss about PHP data types. Please keep watching my videos. I will discuss each and every topic step by step. Thank you.